If you've been in the property management business for any length of time, my suspicion is one of the challenges you faced is maintenance, the whole maintenance process. But a very small piece of that maintenance process that is essential to having a smooth maintenance process is this right here. Finding, screening good quality vendors. How do we do it? There's a lot of vendors out there, but we're so busy, we don't have time to screen vendors. Are you kidding me? I can barely keep everything going in this business, juggling so many balls. We've all had the frustration of using a vendor who did a poor job on a property, and now maybe you're stuck left holding the bill, or you got to pay for the repairs that the vendor was supposed to make and didn't, and it can be really, really hard. Now, we went into detail on this, by the way, on our last episode of our podcast, our property management business podcast. So if you want longer definition of the entire maintenance process, search property management business podcast, and I'll go into a lot of detail on that. But right here, I just want to talk specifically about screening vendors and offer you a couple suggestions. Suggestion number one, have a vendor info page on your website. Have you ever had a call or an email from a prospective vendor and they said something like this? Yes, I'm a carpet company and I would like to figure out how I can get on your vendor list. And you're like, send me some information and I'll get a chance to look at it when I can. Yeah. Raise your hand if you've ever said that. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of hands. Okay, put them down. We've all done that. Wouldn't it be nicer if you could just say, okay, great, jump on our website and go under our vendor tab, and we have a vendor application side or a vendor information page. You need to have this on your page. So let me share with you some information we put on our page. And I know you can't probably read this, but it says this. It says, if you are a vendor that loves what you do and loves serving people, we would love to meet you. Our vendor network is made up of vendors of all sizes and shapes. It doesn't say shapes. Providing a different type of maintenance and repair service. This is such a small thing, I can't hardly read it. We work with both large national as well as small mom and pop companies on our vendor. In order to join our vendor network, we review the following from each prospective vendor. The next page has a bunch of this stuff here. So here's some things we look at to screen our vendors. We look at the quality of the work. We want prompt quality and craftsmanship. We want fair market pricing. We only work with vendors that are competitive in their pricing. Transparency pricing. We want timeliness. You got to show up when you say you're going to show up for non-emergencies, emergencies. We want licensing and insurance. We want proof of workman's comp. And then after this, on the side, there's a little place where they can go in and fill in their information. Be like, okay, great. You want to get on our vendor list? Go apply through the vendor page. And they put in their company name and their number and how many years they've been in business and the service they provide and what's their rate per hour, all that information. And then we get that in a nice little email. It saves a ton of time having to talk to those folks when some of them I know we're not going to use anyway. But now we can kind of pre-screen them and look at it and say, oh, wait, this guy charges $200 an hour plus an $85 trip charge? No, I'm not even going to talk to them, not going to call them. Oh, look at this one here. Oh, that's good pricing. They've been around a long time. They linked to their page where their insurance is. They sent me the insurance. Bingo. Let's consider using these folks. So put that on your webpage. Number two, you want to then have a candid conversation about expectations to that vendor. If you like the information they provided, now you pick up the phone, or maybe you even have them come into your office, and you're going to have a conversation with them and set the expectations. Hey, here's when we expect you to call. When we send you a job, you can't call the tenant 5 days later. You got to call them in 24 hours. And here's how quickly you can expect to get an invoice from us. Here's how quickly you have to give us your invoice so that we can pay you from that. All those expectations. Be very, very candid on the front end. Why? Setting expectations. Number three, pay quickly, my friends. If you've got a good vendor and you want to keep them happy, pay them quickly. Like this seems so straightforward, but it always amazes me how many property management companies say, well, we have a 60-day pay cycle. Well, I wouldn't work for you as a vendor either if you've got a 60-day pay cycle. Not when I've got a long line of clients out there who want me to do work for them. You need to attract quality vendors, and one way you can do that is by paying quickly. Maybe that means you pay once a week. If you get me your invoices by Tuesday, I will have a check cut for you on Friday, or direct deposit, whatever you do that way. Before I share the final comment, I want to thank the sponsor, PMW. We're talking about websites, right? I just said have a page on your website. We use PMW, Property Manager Websites, for our property management company website. I love these folks. Love them, love them, love them. If you need an update to your website, this is who you call. You need to refresh your website. You need to get a new website. Your marketing isn't what it needs to be. You're not getting any SEO, organic type stuff. Here's your solution, folks. If you don't have a good website, it almost doesn't matter what else you do to market, because a prospective owner client is going to do what before they call you? They're going to go to your website. And if your website is old, ugly, not modern, doesn't have good information, you already struck out. These folks can help you do that. Reach out to them, get a demo of their software, have them set up your site similar to how they set up ours. Big fans of Property Manager websites. Tell them Marc sent you and I said hello. Tell them to give you the Marc treatment, and they'll take extra good care of you. Okay, number 4, have a vendor agreement or a vendor contract form. So you're talking to them, and part of that conversation is giving them a copy of your vendor agreement or your vendor contract form. Now, by the way, if you're a member of our PM Video Coaching Group, you already have this from us. We've given this to you. If you're not a member of our PM Video Coaching Group, come on board, join us, jump on pmbuild.com, sign up, and I will send this to you immediately. But you want to make sure you have this in place. Why? Because this sets the expectations. It says things like, hey, you promised to have insurance, and you got to give me a copy. If you don't give me your invoices within 30 days of the job being done, I'm not going to pay you. If you don't show up and clean the job site up, if you don't It's not some big scary thing. We don't want to scare vendors away, but it sets expectations. And it says, here's how quickly we're going to pay you when you do these jobs. It's all about the expectations. All right, number 5, you want to have multiple vendors for every field. Don't have one carpet company and one plumbing company, no matter how big or small you are. I recommend you have at least 3, count them 1, 2, 3, 3 vendors in every category field. Have 3 carpet folks, have 3 plumbers, and even if you have a favorite, use the other ones periodically just to make sure that the one that you love is still giving you good pricing. Don't just become so reliant on one vendor that then they leave, they go on vacation, and you're sunk. I hear this so often from property managers who they loved their vendor until that vendor got too busy, took a vacation, got sick, closed up their business, or just got hired away to do something better, and then they're sunk. Don't do that. Have multiple vendors for every field. Lastly is this: expect to pay for quality. I bet if I surveyed every single person watching this video and I asked you, hey, are you paying too much for your maintenance? 95% of you would be like, yep, I'm overpaying for maintenance. Well, let me ask you this. If 95% or 75%, 65%, if 75% of you say you're overpaying for maintenance, are you really overpaying for maintenance? It's kind of a psychological mind game. No, you're not. If that's what we all pay, that's not overpaying. Things are expensive and they're only getting more expensive. So rather than complaining and looking for the cheapest vendor in town, expect to pay up for quality, just like you do in your property management company. You tell your prospective owner clients, hey, we provide great service and we charge X. Maybe you charge a premium. Why? Because you're the best. You are the best property management company in your area. Well, so are the vendors you want to be utilizing. You need quality work done. You need timeliness. And in order to get quality work and to get timeliness, guess what? It's going to cost you and your owner client money. Explain that to your owner clients that, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Owner Client, nobody can go do that work for that price that we got it for 4 years ago. I know you only paid $1,000 for new carpet last time we replaced it 8 years ago. This is 2023. Now it's going to cost a lot more. So make sure you're educating your owners on that. Hey, do you want to join our PM Video Coaching Group? Jump on our pmbuild.com website. You can get information, sign up for that coach there. Jump on our, or don't jump on our what's called podcast. Listen to our podcast while you're driving in your car, at the gym, wherever it is you do podcasts. We take questions as well, which is always kind of interesting. The question we answered a couple weeks ago was about tenants making no, you know what, I can't even repeat it. It was so obscene, but you should listen to it. You'll find it rather humorous, I think. Check out our podcast, Property Management Business. Jump on our website, look at the forums, packages, income streaming, whatever you need to help you build, grow, and protect your property management company. Anything you need, you will find on pmbuild.com. I can just about guarantee you. My friends, until next time, as always, I wish you success.